So she has Angelman syndrome.
She does. And what is Angelman syndrome?
It's something when you can't talk or you can't walk.
Yeah.
And some other people that have Angelman syndrome can talk and walk.
Mm-hmm. My name is Amy, and this is my daughter, Grace. Grace was born with Angelman syndrome. The technical terms of Angelman syndrome is it's a chromosome 15, and it's a deletion of that. So there's maternal and paternal, and the deletion that she has is on her paternal side. And with that comes severe cognitive delays. It comes with no speech. But overall, she has a very happy position, and she's a very happy girl.
So, having a child with Angelman syndrome it's been quite the journey. At the beginning, it's more adjusting your dreams and hopes for your child, and then it changes to adjusting your daily life and for that child and around that child. After that initial shock and all of that wears off, the beginning, what we've tried always to do is to make everything as normal as possible, both for Gracie and for our other two boys and for us. So we try to do everything as normal as possible and make everything as normal as possible that a typical kid would do. So, but it's just making little adjustments in your day-to-day life and thinking about things. So, okay, if we're going to a restaurant, what type of tables did they have? Or if we're going to the grocery store, or if we're going on vacation, we're going to the beach, or we're doing whatever it is. Just making those little adjustments to make life easier for her and for us and for everyone.
So this is Grace's sleep safe bed. We got this bed, and we're very fortunate because Gracie does have multiple seizures, and we wanted to make sure that she was safe at night. So she goes in here, and we just zip it all up. We call this her princess carriage, basically. And we just put this up, and it's very nice. It's a hospital bed, so when she's sick or congested, we can lift it up or down. And she likes that confined space, so it's worked out really, really well for her. Angelman syndrome is a neurological disorder, and a lot of kiddos with neurological disorders have troublesome sleeping. Angelman syndrome is very unique in these kiddos, adults who have Angelman syndrome, they don't need a lot of sleep. Grace was diagnosed right after her first birthday, and we couldn't figure out why she wasn't sleeping. I mean, she could be awake for days until we got her on some sleep meds that do help. And even with sleep meds, she only sleeps probably like a 4-hour cycle. We'll wake up for 2 or 3 hours a night and then go back to sleep. So that's tough in itself for the families and caregivers and her, because obviously when you don't sleep, it wears on your immune system, and that causes seizures as well. But this has been very helpful for us. It's all padded, so we know she's safe. We can bring toys in there and books, so it's good to know that she's safe in there. And as you can tell, she's talking right now with her talker. That's what we call it. Here's a bigger version. Here's a smaller version. This is attached to her at all times. I have it attached to her so she can have her voice. When she was real little, we tried to teach her sign language, but her fine motors are very low and weak. And so we've been teaching her to communicate through pictures. So basically, anything we're talking to her with, we use pictures, hoping that she will start communicating with these pictures as well. And she has, we've been doing this for consistently for about 1.5 years, and we have had very, very good successes with it. She tells us when she needs to use the restroom, and she also tells us when she doesn't like things and likes things, and we like the fact that she can give us her opinions.
Turn the page. We like that music. Turn the page. You like it when they sing. Yeah. Do you want to turn the page? Turn the page. You want to use your switch and your turn the page, your mouse to pick. Yeah.
Good job, sis.
Yeah. Turn the page. That's your mouse. Yeah.
I like Gracie at Halloween.
You like Gracie at Halloween?
Yeah.
Why do you like Gracie at Halloween?
Because she's the best.
She's the best.
And I love her, like, drawing.
You love crawling with Gracie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love playing with Grace.
Yeah, what kind of things do you play together?
Trucks, toys, games, and toys, and all stuff, and swords.
Yeah. So people often ask me how I do this, dealing with the struggles of a child with Angelman syndrome, or they like to say, you were chosen, or they like to say, I can never do this. And my answer I always say is, yes, you could, because you would love your child just like anything else, and you would do anything for your child. The same love happens naturally, but you just learn to kind of adjust the way you look at things and think about things. When she first got diagnosed, I feel like I went through the stages of grief. The denial part, the accepting part, just because all the things that you have, your hopes and dreams for your child, I've had to rearrange them. And that's probably the hardest part, because it's not, once you get this diagnosis, it's not something that you can fix. This is going to be ongoing forever. And when I look at her cousins and other friends, who are 8 years old, just like Grace, and they're doing things that Grace can't. Some days it's not a big deal, and I just hug her a little tighter, and then other days I can just drop to the ground and just think, why me? But then as soon as I say those, I ask myself, why me? She does something incredible. Yes, like all the times we work on using a fork or drinking from a straw, she'll do it. And she'll give you the most unconditional love that anyone could ever ask for. Anyone could ever ask for. One of the struggles about this genetic disorder is just resources and receiving information. It's very hard to go into a doctor's appointment or an emergency visit and no one knows what Angelman syndrome is, and you have so much faith in doctors, and when they don't know, you kind of feel lost in this world alone. Where I turn to in times of grief, in times of questions, is social media. We have a large support of mothers and fathers who are kiddos have Angelman syndrome, and that's been very helpful just because it's so rare. And that's what we've started the National Angelman Walk every year. And we just started in Arizona 4 years ago, and that's been very helpful in just reaching out and finding out other kids and adults with Angelman syndrome. The first year we had, I believe, 4 kids with Angelman syndrome at the walk, and last year, the 4th year, we had up to 25 people that had Angelman syndrome just in the state of Arizona. So our work is happening. The research is coming out, and the awareness is coming out, and that's due just from that resources that we've had.
Hope when you take that jump, you don't feel the fall. Hope when the water rises, you built a wall. Hope when the crowd screams out, you're screaming your